Recording. Right. Dear students, let's see now the solution of linear system of equations. So where we solve the system of linear equations using the matrix methods, so that it is needed to discuss about the basics of matrices. Okay, those only basic definitions we will take it here, which are suitable or relevant for the solution of linear system of equations. Let's recapitulate some of the definitions which you may be learned in our lower classes. So let's we remind the minimum basics of matrices. So what is mean by a matrix? Can anybody say? Define a matrix. How we can define a matrix?
So collection of particles arranged in columns and rows.
System of, say, mn numbers or mn elements arranged in the form of ordered set of m rows and columns, right? M rows and n columns. Let's take a matrix A is equal to A11, A12, A13, B21, or write it A itself, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So here we have taken 9 numbers and they have been arranged in 3 rows and 3 columns. So this structure which is called a matrix, right? The arrangement of the numbers in rectangular or square arrangement, right? Inside that each element it is called entries or element, whatever it may be. So here there may be some another basic definitions which we can take as a submatrix. What is submatrix? Submatrix. Submatrix. Say some part of the matrix. Say here the given matrix is of order 3 by 3. You maybe take it any of 2 by 2 matrix, 2 by 2 matrix, it result in you the submatrix. A matrix itself it is called a submatrix. So here we maybe take it as B is equal to A11, A12, A31, A32, right? This is also a submatrix, right? So by deleting some rows and some columns, it makes the matrix that is said to be the submatrix. Say B1, B2 is equal to say A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23. This is also a submatrix, right? So we have deleted some rows and some columns. The resultant matrix is said to be a submatrix of the given matrix. Okay. So now what is minor? So is what is minor? Minor is the, tell me what is minor? Anybody know?
Sir.
Hello? Hello?
Sir, if we remove the first row and first column, then the left part will be a minor.
Determinant.
Right. determinant of square submatrix. Minor means determinant of square submatrix. That is called the minor. Okay? Determinant of square submatrix. Then define rank of the matrix. Rank of a matrix. Okay? Rank of a matrix. Usually, in general, it has been defined that the rank of non-zero matrix is the order of the highest order minor, highest order non-zero minor. Highest order non-zero minor of the matrix. Okay, understand? This is called the rank of the matrix, order of the highest order non-zero minor is called the order rank of the matrix. Suppose, so you know what is minor? Highest order minor. There are different kind of minors can be taken from the given matrix, in which highest order minor, which is non-zero highest order minor. That means the minor cannot be zero, That determinant of square submatrix must be non-zero. Like that, the highest order matrix, highest order non-zero minor order is defined as the rank of the matrix. Is defined the rank of the matrix. Understand? Okay. Usually it defines, say, R. Suppose A is the matrix. Its rank is denoted by rank of A is equal to row of A. So that may be denoted R or something, whatever it is. Okay. That means rth order minor is the highest order non-zero minor in which, right? Now, echelon form of a matrix. Echelon form of a matrix. This is important. Please see the definition. A matrix is said to be in echelon form. This is form. Just understand, this echelon, it is one of form, echelon form, if it has following the, if it has the following properties. Number one, zero rows. You know what is zero rows? Rows, columns, you know, in a matrix, right? Zero rows, if any, in the given matrix, are below in any non-zero row. Non-zero row. Okay. Suppose if a matrix is having any zero rows, then that zero row to be taken at last below in any non-zero row, right? Next, second point, the first non-zero entry the first non-zero entry in each non-zero row is equal to 1. This is optional. This property is optional. You may be consider or not. That is your option. Is optional. Okay. Third point. This third is only the important one, but you understand that one. That is the number of zeros. Number of zeros before the first non-zero element. First non-zero element in a row. Okay, the number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row is less than the number of such zeros in the next row. In the next row. Okay, understand? This is in the next row. This is very, very important. So this third point is the main concern. So therefore, the number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row is less than number of such zeros in the next row. Okay. So if it satisfies, then the matrix is said to be in the row echelon form because it is concerned about the rows. So therefore, it is called the row echelon form. I am writing you here the examples. Take it an example. Suppose 1 0 0 2 3 0 0 1 0 minus 1 1. So 0 0 1 2 1 0 0 0 0 2, or you maybe put it 0 zeros. Right? You tell me this is one matrix and another one 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0. Right, these are the two examples we can see it over there. So all the rows we can take on. So if there is any first point, if there is any zero row, so here 1 0 row is there in each matrices. So therefore that 0 row is there, we have written below the non-zero rows, right? The first property obeys. Second property, it is optional. You don't need it, that one. That third one, the number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row. So you can find out. You can point out here the number of zeros in the first row. How many number of zeros are there in first row?
3.
Number of zeros in first row before the non-zero entry.
2.
Before the first non-zero entry, row wise you write it. You find out what is the number of zeros in the appearing before the first non-zero entry.
0, sir.
0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next, in second row, how many number of such zeros are there?
Before
One.
non-zero entry.
These are the first non-zero entries in every row, like that, row wise, right? Now find out number of zeros before these non-zero entries. In first row, no zeros, like that is 0 rows, 0 zeros. In second row, how many number of zeros are there before the non-zero entry?
1.
1. Okay, 1. Next, in second row,
2.
2. In third row,
6.
6. So you see, so this is the count of number of zeros before each non-zero entry, first non-zero entry of each row. So in which is it obeys the rule or not? The number of zeros before the first non-zero entry in a row is less than number of such rows in the next row, right? The next row it is like this. So previous row we are writing the number of zeros. Let us say suppose in R2 number of zeros is 1 and R3 number of zeros is 2. So therefore it's very clear, in previous row there are number of zeros were less than the next row, right? Hello students, are you following? So if any like this zeros are getting increasing, number of zeros increasing or same it may be, so then the matrix is said to be in row echelon form. Okay, so there is one advantage of these matrices which we converted into row echelon form. So then the number of non-zero rows in row echelon form of a matrix is defined as the rank of the matrix. This is important observation. That means the rank is defined, rank of matrix is equal to number of non-zero rows in the row echelon form of the matrix. Okay, the number of non-zero rows in the row echelon form of matrix is defined as the rank of the matrix. So here what is the rank of this matrix?
3.
Here also, right? Suppose if you take it another matrix, say A is equal to 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0. Is it in row echelon form?
No, sir. No, sir.
Huh? Is it in row echelon form?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Not in row echelon form. Means the number of zeros before the first non-zero entry in each row in a row is less than the number of such zeros in the next row. So here 0, here 1, here 0. So therefore it is not following in second and third rows, right? So therefore this is not in row echelon form, but the matrix can be reduced into row echelon form using the some row elementary operations. So here it is another note point. The matrices can be reduced into row echelon form by performing elementary row operations. I hope you know the row operations means. So here
Yes,
we
sir.
perform only row operations, elementary row operations. So we can reduce them. So this matrix can reduce into row echelon form. So you can reduce that. You can write it here. I am writing. So if you perform R2 is interchanging as R3. If you interchange them, then the resultant matrix of A is equal to, if you interchange that, you see. Now check it. Is it in the row echelon form or not? This is in the row echelon form, right? Hello, dear students.
Yes, sir.
If you interchange R2 as R3, then it comes into the row echelon form because the number of non-zero rows before the non-zero entry is less than number of such zeros in the next row. Here 0, 0, here 1. Okay, that is in the row echelon form. Good. So this is row echelon form, and by converting, if any matrix is converted into row echelon form and finding the number of non-zero rows, that can easy way to find out the rank of the matrix. Okay, this is one important observation or important tool to find out the rank of the matrices. Those are having higher order. So suppose if it is of 3 by 3 order, then we can easily to find out its minors and determinants. It can be easily to find out. But suppose if the matrices are having higher orders, then they cannot possible to find out the minors, highest order minors. That means determinants. So in such case, so this row echelon form worked out. That row echelon form will be performed by computers also very easily. So first making the arrangement of the entries, all the elements row wise by performing elementary row operations only to make it into the some particular specified form. That means it follows the number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row is less than the number of such zeros in the next row. Like that, if you arrange that, then it result in you the row echelon form. Once you obtain the row echelon form of the given matrix, in which you can identify easily the number of non-zero rows. So that number of non-zero rows is resulting you the required rank of the matrix. Okay, this is important. So while solving the equations also, we can use this row echelon form method. Okay, now write down the system of linear simultaneous equations. Linear system of equations. Consider the system of m equations with n unknowns. Say a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a13 x3 plus so on plus a1n xn is equal to b1, a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus a23 x3 plus so on plus a2n xn is equal to b2, so on am1 x1 am1 x1 plus am2 x2 plus am3 x3 plus so on plus amn xn is equal to bm. m, because m equations are there, m equations with n unknowns. In each equation there are n unknowns are there. This is the system of simultaneous equations. This is like that we can consider a system. This system can be write in a matrix form, the matrix form of the system. How we can write matrix form? Is we can write it A11, A12, so on, A1n, so on, AM1, AM2, so on, AMN into x1, x2, so on, xn is equal to b1, b2, so on, bm, right? This is the matrix form of the system, right? This is the matrix form of the system. So this we can write in the way by symbolical denoting A into X is equal to B, where A is equal to the matrix. It is called the coefficient matrix of the system. That is A11, A12, so on, A1n, A21, A22, so on, A2n, so on, AM1, AM2, so on, AMN. This is of matrix of order m by n, and X is the variable matrix, that is a vector, which is x1, x2, so on, xn, and the known matrix, that is right hand side matrix, B is equal to B1, B2, so on, Bm. It is of order m by 1. Okay, this is of order also, which is n by 1. So hence it resulting you the described matrices A, B, as well as vector X. So for finding the solution of this system of the this system. So before going to that solution of the system, so we will describe the characteristics of the system. Okay, do you know how we can solve this system? Ax is equal to b. Hopefully you know that the solution process of the system of linear system of equations using matrix method. First we write its matrix form, that is considering as Ax is equal to b. And what is the solution matrix? That means unknown matrix has to be determined. We know the traditional methodology. So by that methodology we will be written as X is equal to matrix inversion, A inverse into B, right? By matrix inversion or Cramer rule method, so we can find out the solution of the matrix X as Ax, A, B, A inverse into B, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is traditional method. But here one thing we must be very clear about that, where by applying the matrix inversion method, so in which needed to find out A inverse. So that means for finding A inverse, it is needed to find out the determinant of the matrix, right? How we define the inverse of the matrix? Adjoint matrix by det A, right? So therefore it's needed the determinant of the matrix. It's needed to find out the determinant of the matrix, because if there are many number of system of equations are there in the system, then in case it resulting you the higher order matrix, coefficient matrix A. So therefore the finding determinant of highest order matrices is very, very difficult, right? It is not possible. Even though if you follow the Cramer rule, in Cramer rule also needed to find out the determinant of the matrices, right?
Yes, sir.
The Cramer rule method also is not worked out if it has the system consists many number of equations, more than three and more, right? So in such case, So where we have to follow the method for the system. So in which before going to that methodology, we would discuss about the nature of the system. That a system AX is equal to B. AX is equal to B is said to be, here are some basic points I'm writing. A system here, number one, the system AX is equal to B is called homogeneous system. Homogeneous. If B is equal to 0, that is homogeneous system is AX is equal to 0. If any right hand side matrix is 0, that means all BA is 0, then the matrix, that system is said to be homogeneous system. Number 2, so if B is not equal to 0, then the system is called non-homogeneous. That is, non-homogeneous system is AX is equal to B, where B is non-zero. Non-homogeneous system. Okay, good. This is homogeneous system, non-homogeneous system, right? Now, a system, here another point, basic definition, whatever you can say, it is defined that the solution of the system is defined by a set of values of the variables x1, x2, x3, so on, xn satisfies simultaneously all the equations in this system, right? Like that we can define the solution of the system. Next, another point. Now, if the system has the solution, if the system means, what is the system? That is a group of equations, right? There is a group following some rules. That is the system, right? So if the system has a solution, then it is called consistent. The system is said to be consistent if it has a solution, right? Okay, otherwise it is inconsistent. That means no solution. Okay, if a system does not have any solution, then it is said to be inconsistent. If a system has a solution, then it is said to be consistent. Okay, next, another important point, which is a consistent system a consistent system has a solution, right? A consistent system has a solution. That means it has a solution. How the solution is? Has either unique solution or infinitely many solutions. So because if a system has a solution, then it is said to be consistent. So therefore that consistent system has either unique solution or infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. Obviously the homogeneous system is there, Ax is equal to 0. It has a solution, right? It has one solution, that x is equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So therefore the homogeneous system is always consistent. Homogeneous system is always consistent since it is a solution x is equal to 0. Right? The homogeneous system always consistent since it has solution x is equal to 0 always. That is a trivial solution. It's called trivial solution. X is equal to 0. Trivial solution. Okay, this is some of the basic required definitions, and it results the nature of the system. Now let's going to the direct nature of the system, homogeneous system and non-homogeneous system. Based on the consistency, we will define the nature, how we can. Before that, here one more definition I would like to giving you, that is called augmented matrix. This is AUG. Usually writes augmented matrix. Augmented matrix. Augmented matrix of A, whatever it is, we can write it. Here we have the system. A system Ax is equal to B, in which A is the coefficient matrix and B is the column matrix, which you have the constant values. So if you mix up both, that augmented matrix is defined as augmented matrix is equal to, you just add this B matrix as one column, A, B. We define like this. We form a new matrix by adding another additional column with B elements. So for identification, that new added row, this dotted line may be used or straight line may be used. Okay, this is the variation of the augmented matrix. Here the augmented matrix, we can write it as A11, A12, so on, A1n, A21, A22, so on, A2n, so on, AM1, AM2, so on, AMN. So we are adding one more column as B1, B2, so on, BM. That's all. This is augmented matrix. So from the system we write it, the augmented matrix, by adding that B as a additional column, and we variate that column, that if the variation of the coefficient matrix and the added column by a line, straight line. This is, we may be using either dotted line or the straight line we may be used for writing the augmented matrix, right? Okay, any doubt in this? The augmented matrix?
No, sir.
So you know how we are writing the augmented matrix? From the system,
Yes, sir.
AB matrices are clubbing. We form a new matrix using the coefficient matrix and the RHS matrix. Okay, that's all. So now let's see the nature of the systems. Simultaneous equations. Okay, here number 1, for non-homogeneous systems. Before going to that, let the rank of A is equal to R and rank of AB, the augmented matrix, A bar B, it read as augmented matrix, is equal to say R1. Say R1 of system AX is equal to B. For our convenience, just we are taking this terminology. We will discuss the nature for the non-homogeneous system. How the non-homogeneous system is? AX is equal to B, where B is non-zero. At least one entry in B is non-zero. Okay, if all zeros, then it will become a homogeneous system. Now, first point, if for the non-homogeneous system, AB are there, this rank of A is equal to R, we just designated, rank of AB is equal to R1. If rank of A is equal to, is not equal to rank of AB, rank of augmented matrix, rank of A not equal to rank of AB, then
No solution.
no solution. Rank of A is not equal to rank of AB. R is not equal to R1. Okay. Now, number 2. If rank of A is equal to rank of AB, the system is consistent. The system is consistent. Okay. That means it has solution. It has solution means here again it comes the doubt whether that is a unique solution or infinitely many solutions, right? So if rank of A is equal to rank of AB, that is equal to n. Okay, rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n. What is n? You know what is n?
Rank.
N, please. N.
Number
What is n indicates?
Number of rows.
number no, yeah, element.
What is n?
Known variable. Known variable.
Unknown.
Number of unknowns. That
Seven.
means x1, x2, x3, so on, xn. Right? Number of unknowns. So therefore, if rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to the number of unknowns, then the system is consistent and it is unique solution. Rank of A is equal to rank of AB, that is equal to number of unknowns, then the system is consistent and it has unique solution. Number 3, if rank of A is equal to rank of AB, that means rank of the coefficient matrix is equal to rank of augmented matrix. If it is less than or less than n, if the rank less than number of unknowns, the rank less than number of unknowns, then the system is consistent but it has infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. How many number of solutions are there? Infinitely number of solutions are there. Infinite solutions are there, in which there are, in this case, infinitely number of solutions are there, in which n minus r arbitrary solutions are there. N minus r independent solutions are there. Okay, that arbitrary solutions are nothing but independent solutions. N minus r independent solutions are there. R means the rank of A is equal to rank of AB. R is equal to R1. Okay, right? This is the nature of the non-homogeneous system. In the same way, we can define the nature of the homogeneous system. Homogeneous system. So in which that homogeneous system defines Ax is equal to 0. So it is always has a trivial solution. So therefore, the system, number one, if rank of A, it is always, that is, rank of A is equal to rank of AB, right? Augmented matrix, that means a additional column, 0 column, it is there, not affecting any rank of the matrix. Okay, so therefore rank of A is equal to always rank of AB for this. It is not if, always rank of A is equal to rank of AB. Here the point is equal to n or less than n. That is only the point. So therefore first point considered, rank of A is equal to rank of AB. If it is equal to n, that I will write it in the next point. If here is always rank of A is equal to rank of AB. The first point. If that is say is equal to R, assume if R is less than R is equal to n. If R is equal to n, the number of unknowns, then the system always consistent. When R is equal to n, the system has unique solution, right? That is trivial solution. X is equal to 0. All xi is zeros. All xi is zeros. X1 0, x2 0, x3 0, so on. Number 2. If R less than n, that implies the system has infinitely many solutions. The system has infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions in which n minus r independent solutions are there. Independent solutions are exist. Okay, this is n minus r linearly independent solutions. Here also infinite spelling you see. Infinitely many solutions in which n minus r arbitrary solutions are infinitely solutions are independent solutions are there, linearly independent solutions. Here also n minus r independent solutions are there if r less than n. Okay, but this is like this we can define the nature of the systems. Now we can do the problem. I will explain you from the our where it is. From our lecture notes, I will explain you the problem. And as well as the same. Is looking you the problem, please? Are you looking the example?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nine.
Here the question is test for consistency and solve the linear system of equations. So here we have 4 equations with 3 unknowns x, y, z, right? First write down its matrix form. What is its matrix form? What is its matrix form? Huh? What is its matrix form? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 minus 5 minus 5, 3, 9 minus 1 into x, y, z is equal to 3, 5, 2, 4. This is a form ax is equal to b, right? Where a is equal to this one and b is equal to this, x is equal to this. Now write its augmented matrix. This is a bar b. That we can write it a bar. That is also not a problem. Okay, whatever it is, the notations are there. So where this coefficient matrix is added with one more column with the right hand side matrices, that column 3, 5, 2, 4, and added the separation that dotted they have placed, where the dotted or straight line, whatever you may be used for that. First write the augmented matrix, and after finding the augmented matrix, it is needed to find the rank, no? Right? What is the advantage of this augmented matrix is where it's clearly included the coefficient matrix and the new matrix, augmented matrix. Okay, so therefore no need to find out separately the rank of A and rank of AB. Once you find out the rank of AB, the augmented matrix, so it itself includes the rank of A also, because this separation indicates what is A. A part is this one. If we find out the rank of AB, we can easily to find out the rank of A also from the augmented matrix. How we can see? So once you write down the augmented matrix, now apply the elementary row operations and reduce this equation into this matrix, augmented matrix, into row echelon form. You see it here. Applying the row operations and reducing this into row echelon form. Right? You perform every row, you make it 0, 0 first rows after the first, not first row, first column after the first row element, and next second row elements, this part, these zeros. So like that, you can choose the required row operations, and accordingly you perform and make it. So this is the matrix. Finally, we obtain by performing the row operations, and it's clearly it is in the row echelon form. It is clearly in the row echelon form. So in which we can find out very easily what the number of non-zero rows. Once we confirm that the augmented matrix is in the row echelon form, then we can find out the number of non-zero rows in the row echelon form. That is, what is the number of non-zero rows in the row augmented matrix? AB 1, 2, 3, right? Three rows are there in the augmented matrix, where in the row echelon form. So hence the rank of AB is 3. And also now you look at the A part, the coefficient matrix, in which how many number of non-zero rows are there? Here also 3 rows are there. 1, 2, 3 until the dot. Okay. So therefore here rank of A is equal to rank of AB. That is equal to 3. That is equal to number of variables, number of unknowns. So hence the system has the unique solution. You can write it once you drawn the row echelon form. Now you convert this into the matrix form. That is 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 2. This is 0, 0. It is not needed. Into X, Y, Z is equal to what you have the values here: 3, minus 1, 4, 0. Now you write them into the equation form. That is X plus 2Y plus Z is equal to 3. Now minus Y is equal to minus 1, and last one is 2Z is equal to 4, right? Z is equal to 4. These are the three equations we can obtain from this row echelon form, where it resulting you Y is equal to 1, Z is equal to 2. So we can substitute them here. It resulting you X is equal to how much? Minus 1. You see, put it Y is equal to 1, Z is equal to 2. 4. You take it into that side, minus 4. 3 minus 4, minus 1. X is equal to minus 1. Y is equal to 1. Z is equal to 2. This is the required solution. That is a unique solution, right? Like that we can solve the system of equations by reducing them into the row echelon form. Okay, first test the consistency and solve the linear system. Here the system will write it in the matrix form and write the augmented matrix and reduce that into the row echelon form by performing only row operations. Once you make them into the row echelon form, here you see rank of the augmented matrix is 3, because if you included that augmented matrix where it is 3 non-zero rows are there. So therefore rank of augmented matrix is 3, whereas the rank of A matrix, coefficient matrix, you see how many number of non-zero rows are there in A part? 2 only. So hence the rank of A is 2. So hence rank of A is not equal to rank of AB. So therefore the system is inconsistent. It doesn't have the solution. It does not have the solution. Okay, like that only. Same. You can go ahead these problems in the same way. You can describe the solution of the system of equations. Okay. Okay. Do you have any doubts? Friends? Okay. Thank you.